Good morning, students. We have in our portion literature, prose also and poetry also. So I'll be following the pattern of teaching you one prose and then after it I'll be teaching you one poetry to balance it out. So that doesn't become monotonous when if I teach back to back prose or back to back poetry. So the portion of periodic 2, in the portion of periodic 2, the first poem to be taught is of unit 6, No Men Are Foreign by James Kirkup. Now, this particular poem stresses on universal brotherhood. I would say internationalism to be coined under the term universal brotherhood, saying that what we have segregated into units like continents, states, countries is nothing but a whole unit called the earth. Now the fact here which has been stressed upon is about promoting the feeling of unity not only in your nation, I would say promoting the sense of unity internationally. That's the essence of the poem. So every stanza will have a verse which will bring into limelight on the importance of how people are all over the world, and the mere essence of life is the same for all. A problem is a problem for me also as an Indian, for a Pakistani also, for an American also, for a Britisher also. Everything, for every human being on the earth, the problem is a problem. Whatever problem we face, they also face. So, but when it comes to war, what are we doing? Where are we going wrong? Is what is being highlighted in the poem, No Men Are Foreign. Firstly, who is a foreigner? When you visit places around and you see a person who's come from abroad, definitely will have different facial features, the color of the skin will vary, and the person will shine out in a crowd. And you will be of the opinion, see foreigner. This is the first reaction which comes out, saying that you can point a finger at that person and say, see, he is the foreigner or she is the foreigner. Now this word foreigner, is that person not a human being? Yes, he is a human being. This word foreigner has got so much of negativity attached to it, is what is the highlight of the poem. Let's go verse by verse and try to understand what the poet is trying to communicate. Remember, no men are strange, no country is foreign. Beneath all uniforms, a single body breathes. Like ours, the land our brothers walk upon is earth like this, in which we all shall lie. First words. Remember, no men are strange, no country is foreign. If you look at a Britisher, if you look at you would say Pakistani, if you see any European country human being or any Asian country's human being, everybody looks the same. They've got a pair of eyes, they've got a nose, they've got a mouth, they've got a pair of ears, limbs, everything is the same. The basic biological constituency is the same. There's no difference between the humans at all. The features may change because of the places in which they live and their descendants. They are the replica of how their descendants looked. So, but apart from that, one basic understanding is that every person, no matter which country he belongs to, is a human being. So the countries are not foreign because there also human beings live and here also human beings live. Beneath all uniforms, a single body breathes. The uniforms here is being spoken about the army uniforms. Army of different countries have got different uniforms. Armies of different countries have got different uniforms. But the people underneath the uniform are the same. He is a human being. Person is a human being under that uniform. We should always remember this. And that body which breathes in air for its existence is the same everywhere, no matter which army you pinpoint at. The land our brothers walk upon is earth like this. In India, if you have land, and if America you have land, different countries you've got land, it's still Mother Nature. This land is the same everywhere. No country has got a special land, and we are being deprived of by Mother Nature not having a special land. Land is same everywhere. And after the death of the human being, the burial takes place in the land only. Which land doesn't matter, because the characteristic feature of land is the same throughout the earth. Like wherever you pinpoint at the planet Earth, you would be buried in the land over there. Your grave would be dug and then your body would be buried. The same process happens. Not a big deal. They too, aware of sun and air and water, are fed by peaceful harvests, by war's long winter start. Their hands are ours, and in their lines we read a labor not different from our own. Now, they too aware of sun and air and water. Elements of nature are the same everywhere. Sun doesn't demarcate and distinguish and say that I'm going to shine more upon that country and less upon yours. Air will not have any discrimination on the basis of money or resources. Air is same everywhere. Water is also same everywhere. Water wouldn't be of different color in some other place when compared to your own land. So the elements of nature are same everywhere. And the people, if the harvest is good, if the climatic condition is good, people do reap good harvest. Everywhere this is the issue. If there's a drought, then all suffer. If there's excessive rain, there's floods, all suffer. The suffering as well as the reaping is same everywhere. By war's long winter start, if there's a war, the country focuses, major of its resources are channelized on the war only. The rest of it are put aside. The rest of the agenda is put aside, saying that we're not going to focus on this right now. That creates a problem for the people who are living over there. And if we are at war, every person in that country suffers. Not only in ours, but in the other country, the rival country also who's fighting a war against us, does suffer in the same way as we suffer. Their hands are ours, and in their lines we read a labor not different from our own. Now you know that you have to strive hard to earn a livelihood. A labor's work is same everywhere. Maybe a labor in any kind of country, the amount of hard work that person puts in to earn his livelihood can be read in his palms. The lines can be read. The labor's hands over here would be the same as the labor's hand. In any country you pick up, you hurl a stone at anybody, any labor, we know that they know the importance of hard work and how to earn a livelihood. So this kind of a mentality prevails everywhere. It's not different. We don't have difference of opinions on these topics. Remember, they have eyes like ours, and wake or sleep and strength that can be won by love. We have eyes. All the people living on this earth have eyes. We wake up, we open our eyes, we sleep, we close our eyes. Our eyes see the same thing, what is there around us. We have the same environment, we have the family, we have the friends, we have the colleagues, we have the peers. So many things are there, so many elements of an individual's life are the same with them also as they are with us. But the eyes bear a common capacity of knowing the importance of the bonding of love. Love's importance is understood by each and every human being on this earth. So it's again a unifying factor rather than a separational factor. In every land is common life that all can recognize and understand. Every aspect, a relationships aspect, a mom's, a dad's, a sibling, a grandparents, all have the same kind of nature, may it be anywhere on this earth. So every aspect of human being, may it be death, life, it may be rejoicing something or may it be mourning something. Everybody undergoes the same turmoil or the same happy moments. There's no difference between a happy moment which if supposedly there's a wedding in the family and the same amount of happiness is experienced by me, even if there would be a wedding in say some Islamic country also, the same amount of happiness would be experienced by them. So it's the same life what everywhere it prevails. Let us remember, whenever we are told to hate our brothers, it is ourselves that we shall dispossess, betray, condemn. Remember, we who take arms against each other. So then, after showing the unifying factors, pinpointing at the unifying factors, the poet says, whenever we are told, let's take the example of China. Now China is saying that this is mine and India is saying this boundary is mine, this area is mine, and China is saying this area is mine. When God made this earth, He never made India and China. We are the human beings who actually have made those boundaries which are not even visible on the land. You see the boundaries of states and countries, even continents. But there is no boundary at all when you see God's own land. We are the people who have decided this is mine and this is yours. You better stay in your area and I'll stay in mine. So what are we doing? We are disposing. We are actually hurting the sentiments of everybody by choosing that we are going to fight because something which interests us is not happening. So we are going to we choose over all the, I would say, peace and love. We choose hatred over help. We choose to cheat. We choose to deprive people of happiness. Like if a soldier dies in either of the armies which are fighting over there, if a person loses his life, the entire family actually goes into the intense sadness mode. From where the soldier belongs does not matter. If he has a family, the family has lost a person and they undergo the same pain. So when we choose to fight, we actually deprive people of their happiness, we cheat, we betray, and then we even start judging people by our prejudices, saying this person is if I have to cite an example, I would say Pakistan, this fellow must be a terrorist. We start prejudicing people. Everybody in Pakistan is not a terrorist. There is a problem, I understand. There is a problem to be tackled, but if we have so many notions in our mind, negative notions in our mind, that lead us to think that we are prejudiced and then we have negative opinions about people and then we choose again hatred over love. Remember, we who take arms against each other, we are the people who decide, let's fight. So why not talk? Differences are there everywhere. Differences are in lives also, in personal lives also, at homes also, in families also. So should we take a gun and start fighting in the families? No. We go about doing talks. We talk about it. We discuss. I put forth my points, the other person puts forth his points, and then that's how we find a solution for it. So remember, when we are at war, actually it was our decision to fight a war. It is the human earth that we defile. If we are choosing war over peace, then we are actually polluting, spoiling the mother nature. We have to contribute towards the betterment of the element rather than adding on fuel to the fire to its destruction mode. Our hells of fire and dust outrage the innocence. Now, here's a comparison of life and thinking process, I will say. Our hells of fire and dust. So we choose destruction over fire and dust over the innocent lives which are getting involved in the war. If you talk to a soldier and if you ask, are you comfortable fighting a war? The soldier would definitely say a no. He would say if you can talk it out and find a solution for it, it would have been better. Because he would give away his life for his nation, but he knows at the bottom of the heart that if he is not alive, if he loses his life, and that the entire family behind him suffers. So we are choosing actually, our hells over here is actually a metaphor, a comparison of two different things. We are comparing our lives, our thinking process to fire and dust. Of air that is everywhere our own. So he says we outrage the innocence of the atmosphere around, which is the same. You breathe in oxygen, they also breathe in oxygen. You have trees which give you pleasantness around, they also have trees which give them pleasantness around. So the elements of nature are the same, acting upon each and every human being, not discriminating whether you belong to any country which is rich or the poor or the developed or the underdeveloped ones. Remember, so that's the concluding line of the poem, no men are foreign and no countries strange. So he says, because of all these underlying unifying factors, he promotes international brotherhood. He says, no human being is different. Nobody has got a special capacity to do something, nor does somebody have lesser capacity to do nothing. So this particular fact needs to be taken care of, and we should remember that this unifying factor lies, and avoid the losses of lives and property and the damage done to the mother nature when we get involved in a war, when we choose hatred over innocence or love. Now there are certain figures of speech which have been, poetic devices which have been used over here. I will pinpoint, please make a note of it in your textbook. Okay, a simile is a comparison with one thing with the other. Now similes have words like and as black as coal, as cold as ice. You must have come across these kind of words earlier, and you knew that the comparison, which words, where words are used, like as and like, those are similes. There are similes in the poem. Example, a single body like ours. Is earth like this? They have eyes like ours. So here the word like has been used, so that's a simile. Metaphor, as I just now told you in my explanation, two dissimilar things comparison. The phrase which I used just now, our hells of fire and dust. There's a comparison between a thought process and the war, action of war over there. So that's a comparison, so that's a metaphor. Again, alliteration is there in the poem. Alliteration is the repetition of sounds, consonant sounds. Repetition of consonant sounds has been done. Like a single body breathes. Body breathes. So b sound has come again. So that's an alliteration. In which we all shall lie. Which we. Again a WW word letter pronunciation has come up back to back. So that's an alliteration. So mark all this stuff. And write over there, these are the metaphors. Metaphor, there is only one over here. Alliteration, there are 2, 3. And then similes are there. Do mark, underline in your poems and write that. Try writing the summary of each and every verse and solve the exercises. Thank you.